The morning sun shot shafts of light over the mountains. It picked up the hints of red and gold among the deep green leaves and had them glowing. From somewhere in the woods came a rustling as a rabbit darted back to its burrow, while overhead a bird chirped with an insistent cheerfulness. Clinging to the line of fences along the road were clumps of honeysuckle. The light scent from the few lingering blossoms wafted in the air. In a distant field, a farmer and his son harvested the last of the summer hay. The rumble of the baler was steady and distinct. Over the mile trek to town, only one car passed. Its driver lifted his hand in a salute. Shane waved back. It was good to be home. Walking on the grassy shoulder of the road, she plucked a blossom of honeysuckle, and as she had as a child, drew in the fleetingly sweet aroma. When she crushed the flower between her fingers, its fragrance briefly intensified. It was a scent she associated with summer, like barbecue smoke and new grass. But this was summer's end. Shane looked forward to fall eagerly, when the mountains would be at their best. Then the colors were breathtaking and the air was clean and crisp. When the wind came, the world would be full of sound and flying leaves. It was the time of wood smoke and fallen acorns. Curiously, she felt as though she'd never been away. She might still have been 21, walking from her grandmother's to Sharpsburg to buy a gallon of milk or a loaf of bread. The busy Baltimore streets, the sidewalks and crowds of the last 4 years might have been a dream. She might never have spent those 4 years teaching in an inner-city school, correcting exams, and attending faculty meetings. Yet 4 years had passed. Her grandmother's narrow 2-story house was now Shane's. The uneven, wooded 3 acres of land were hers as well. And while the mountains and woods were the same, Shane was not. Physically, she looked almost as she had when she had left Western Maryland for the job in a Baltimore high school. She was small in height and frame, with a slender figure that had never developed the curves and roundness she'd hoped for. Her face was subtly triangular, with its creamy skin touched with warm color. It had been called peaches and cream often enough to make Shane wince. There were dimples that flashed when she smiled, rather than the elegant cheekbones she had wished for. Her nose was small, dusted with freckles, tilted up at the end. Pert. Shane had suffered the word throughout her life. Under thin arched brows, her eyes were large and dark. Whatever emotion she felt was mirrored in them. They were rarely cool. Habitually, she wore her hair short, and it curled naturally to frame her face in a deep honey blonde. As her temperament was almost invariably happy, her face was usually animated, her small sculpted mouth tilted up. The adjective used most to describe her was cute. Shane had grown to detest the word, but lived with it. Nothing could be done to alter sharp, vital attractiveness into sultry beauty. As she rounded the last curve in the road before coming into town, she had a sudden flash of having done so before. As a child, as a teenager, as a girl on the brink of womanhood. It gave her a sense of security and belonging. Nothing in the city had ever given her the simple pleasure of being part of the whole. Laughing, she took the final yards at a run, then burst through the door of the general store. The bells jingled fiercely before it slammed shut. Hi. Hi yourself. The woman behind the counter grinned at her. You're out early this morning. When I woke up, I discovered I was out of coffee. Spotting the box of fresh donuts on the counter, Shane rolled her eyes and headed for them. Oh, Donna, cream-filled?